know Dr. Tan have political affiliations in the past with PAP and they seem to be more visible. So, are you concerned about this and what will you be doing about it?
Well, he has an enormous advantage. He was former Deputy Prime Minister and he has been in the news lately. So I hope the media will also be fair to the other candidates and give us equal exposure during the campaign period. So this is an advantage that we cannot take away from him. And it's a natural advantage for him. So, but we will have to overcome that as we go along. And I hope the media will play the part in exposing the 4 candidates and let the people know who we are, what we stand for, what we are capable of, and then let the people decide.
Do you think that will be a campaign strategy from now to the election?
Sorry?
What will be a campaign strategy from now to the election?
Well, campaign strategy that is always there, but it's always in the background. I will unfurl it when it comes, when I get the COE. All right? I think at this stage it's premature to talk about strategy.
Did you raise the 48?
scenario is that you might not get the eligibility cert. So
Yeah.
do you have any backup plans? Have you thought about what you're going to do if let's say you're not going to get it?
Well, if I do not get it, I will continue to be active in public life. And, I will engage with the people. And I will set my eyes on 2016, the next election.
How are you going to be active? Are you going to be part of a political party?
Well, we will see how the campaign pans out and what my supporters say. Then we will decide. All right.
Do you think having Nicosia as endorsing you will help in this campaign?
Well, I think she's quite a popular public figure. I think endorsement for anyone will help. I talk to people, members of public too, elderly people too, and they endorse it. But obviously, they are shy to appear before, and they are not public figures. So Nicosia is an identifiable public figure.
Have you raised the 48K for the elections?
Sorry?
Have you raised the $48,000?
It will come from it's not a problem for me.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
So it will come from yourself?
Yeah, it comes from myself.
Okay.
Formerly, you have said that you are close friends with George and everything.
Yeah.
Have you received any emails of support?
No, I have not received any email from any minister. So, nothing. No communication. They are free to call me.
You previously said that you've been an active president. What does that mean? Can you give an example of being active as a president?
Well, I'll be visible and I'll be, as I mentioned, I want to be the conscience of the nation. And there are lots of things that this government has not done right and have lapses on various policies. And obviously, my first starting point is to talk with the government quietly, indoors. But obviously, there are certain occasions where, I need to speak out in the public.
What are those certain occasions? Are you going to follow the method of PAP where they are not so transparent? Are you going to have private chats indoors instead of publicly speaking on certain issues?
I will have private chats indoors too. That is always the first approach. So when we argue over, we have to understand. I've got to understand what the government's position is. They probably will show me some cabinet papers, what the arguments are. I'll have to look at it. But there are always two sides to the same coin. And you may, let's say, go for high economic growth, GDP growth, but what are the social costs? Have they considered effectively the social costs? And I think they are important. We should not just go for high economic growth. They say, we must seize the opportunities. Opportunities don't come by that easily. Look at the casinos. We are now their main reason is to create jobs, but we are short of workers now. And what kind of jobs have they created? And how many of them are Singaporeans? So these are things have to be asked, and they have to be asked publicly because casinos are an issue above party politics. Even a lot of people within PAP also object to casinos.
So that's one of the issues you're going to speak
Yeah,
about.
definitely. I will definitely speak on the casino. I want to know how many jobs go to Singaporeans and what are the social costs involved. Definitely, I will revisit the issue of casinos. The casinos they are not that they are up there and we cannot do anything about it. We can do something about it. Okay?
There's been a lot of debate about presidential powers given constitutional limits. Do you think that the president is caged in any way?
Well, the president can stay in the cage if he wants to. He can cage himself, but obviously the powers are not as limited as are limited on the specific cases, but there is nothing to prevent the president from speaking out. All right, speaking out. There is nothing in the constitution to say the president cannot talk.
I think one of the issues where the president is limited is in the terms of the mandatory death penalty, where the executive power lies on the cabinet. Are you?
Yes, I am personally against death penalty, and I think we should revisit the issue. It is a matter of conscience because look at the case of Mr. Carter, who was in prison for 6 years, and he was wrongly imprisoned on a wrong charge, and this guy has a below average IQ level, so what do you expect him to answer? What kind of questions do you expect him to answer? So he answered questions in a way which incriminated himself. So I think in a lot we know that there are some mistakes, procedural mistakes in investigations. Police are under pressure to find out who the culprit is, and maybe some of the potential accused may not be able to answer questions properly, and their alibis they're not aware of. These are people with below average IQ. I definitely want to revisit the issue of death penalty. It is above party politics, and I think it's inhuman. We have been through so much changes since I was a student I was a student of moral philosophy as well, and I argued a lot, and I've seen all the debate going on. In the UK, for example, when they abolished the death penalty in the 1950s, 1960s, the huge debate, and the arguments are not there. Have we not become a civilized society?
Thank you so much, Mr. Tan.
Can you comment on the email being hacked thing?
The email being hacked is the second time. Hacking of email goes on all the time. So I suppose the first time this guy was not lucky. Nobody wanted to go to Manchester. He tried his luck and maybe hope that someone will come to Madrid. Probably a more lovely city than Manchester. I remember my first visit to Manchester was wet and cold. So maybe, but it happens all the time. It may happen again, but I hope it doesn't happen the third time within this campaign period because it's distracting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right.